Here are my predictions for the series finale of Stranger Things, which I'm so excited for. I have never been so happy in my life to be home on New Year's Eve. I feel like we're going to have a countdown at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have the countdown to Stranger Things. Probably we're going to crash Netflix, and then we're going to have the second countdown at New Year's. But anyway, my predictions are this. Like, I do think there's going to be a high body count, but I don't believe a lot of major players are going to be taken out. I think we're going to see the usual suspects like Dr. K, Lieutenant Akers. That guy's got to go, right? I mean, you know what? I was thinking, like, what happened to Dr. Brenner? I don't believe he's dead. I don't believe we actually saw him die. So I feel like he could pop up and maybe we finally see him dead, but I don't know that his story is over yet. I feel like his story ties back a lot to that play that they talk about. So maybe he will pop up in a later spinoff. Listen, Callie, I think she's definitely going to die. She is. She is the equivalent of the suicide bomb um, that Hopper had. He is that she is that to Elle. She's the bomb strap to Elle. Elle's going in and they're intending to end their lives to put an end to all this testing being done on children like them. So no other children have to go through this again. So I think those people will definitely die. I think Vecna's going to die. I don't know that that means Henry's going to die. There might be some redemption for Henry. They might reach back and save Henry's soul. I don't know. I don't know if that means he will be alive in the real world. I think there's some kind of alternative ending that's going to happen. I'll talk about that. And I think probably that's kind of it. But as far as the main players, from a story perspective, and I am a story nerd, that's my company name, and I teach story. I analyze it like math, and it really doesn't make sense for any of the major players to die because it doesn't really complete their story, and there's no reason really for them to sacrifice themselves, like emotionally or for character development at this point. There's only two people that it would serve for them to die because sacrifice for the hero is a big thing, and that would be either Hopper's character or Elle, which is interesting because the two of them have felt kind of sidelined these last three episodes, but I think this may be their big moment. But Hopper dying, I don't think that's going to happen because I think we saw that one still that was like leaked to the press where we see Hopper in his uniform talking to Mike. So I think he does survive. But what makes sense to me is that Hopper, over the course of these 5 seasons, has been really possessive and jealous. He's immediately suspicious of Kylie because he doesn't like that she poses a threat to Elle. So his whole thing has been about like being this overprotective father because his child died and he doesn't want his second daughter, his adopted daughter, to die. So I think it might make sense that Hopper's actual arc is going to be letting go of Elle and letting her sacrifice herself and being okay with that. I think that might be a better story arc for him. That completes his arc of like, you can't be the father who holds on so tight that you don't let the child breathe or live. And what I mean by that is I think Elle might sacrifice herself for our world, but I think she might do what Henry is telling the kids he wants to do. Like I've heard this on other people's TikToks. Henry is telling the children, I need your help because there's a darkness in this world and we need to find a world where we can create light. And everybody assumes he's lying, but maybe he's not. Maybe he does need them to create light back in his own world or in this alternate world, this alternate planet. The Duffer brothers said that it is an alternate planet. So what if Elle realizes she can't go back to the real world because she will always be threatened. She has to say goodbye to everybody she loves because she can't put them at risk, including her father and the boy she loves, all her friends. So she will go to this planet that looks like the abyss and she will recreate the abyss and it will become this beautiful Eden. What Mike described when he was saying to her, we get to write our own ending where we end up with the three waterfalls, our party is safe. I think she might create that world. I think she might create it for Henry, for Kali, for all the kids who were murdered in the for all the kids who can't say the M word, for all the kids who were unalived, right, in the lab. Maybe that's where they will end up in this paradise, in this different planet. Maybe that will be the wrinkle in time that they will be there. And then it makes sense that the two things that were leaked was Elle in Iceland, Millie Bobby Brown in Iceland, where there's waterfalls and it's very beautiful and Eden-like, and the thing of Mike and Hopper having this like what looked like a very grim conversation. But I think they will probably be the two people who know that Elle is alive in some sense, but I think most people will think she is dead. And I think that this will be the sacrifice that Mike and Hopper both make to give up the love to for the greater good and to let Elle go. That makes sense to me. That story wise would make sense to me because that will show the growth in their characters that they have to let go of the person they love to let her be free. Elle will not die. Um, I think she may pretend to die again, but in this world she will be dead more or less because they won't be able to go and see her. And I think it makes most sense. Mike may want to stay with her, but he can't because at the end of the day, Mike has a very large family. The Wheelers are a very close family. His mother, Karen, and his father, Ted, yes, Ted still exists. They are going to be healing. And Holly is going to go through a lot of trauma and she's going to be healing. And Mike has really grown into this really strong, supportive character. He is the leader, right? He's the D&D leader. So I think he might be tempted to go with Elle and live out his life with her, but he will have to make a sacrificial choice and he will go back and take care of his family. See, all of those choices for the characters make sense. There's some kind of sacrifice for love. And this whole season has been about how love heals, how love is the thing that connects us, how love is stronger than fear and darkness. So I am predicting those things because from a story coach position, those things make sense for those two main characters because everybody else kind of had their stuff resolved. All the other characters resolved their issues, but we really kind of are going into the finale with Hopper and Elle not really facing their deepest fears. They're both ready to die at a moment's notice, but we haven't seen them get to that level of sacrifice. So that's my predictions. I also a lot of people are talking about how they think that the Duffers are playing with us and that Will is still infected with the mind flayer and they're erasing their memories, which is why we're feeling disjointed, and that maybe in the finale we might see some of the things that were happening that were erased. I think that could happen. It's an interesting theory, but overall, I think it's going to be a phenomenal ending. I think it might be the first time around, we're all going to be a little overwhelmed, maybe even a little confused because there's a lot happening. But as I've seen with this show, the more I watch it, there's so many layers. It gets better and better and better upon each viewing. And that's what I look forward to. I probably won't come on again here tonight because it's New Year's Eve. I'm going to watch a show unless I have a reaction that's strong enough to come back on. I'm probably going to be crying a lot. So I'm happy to watch it at home and not be in a crowded movie theater. But I can't wait. And I will see you guys on the other side.